Hey everybody, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel down there. Let's get this one going. Today I have a 2014 Earth Dreams Honda. It's an Accord, and the problem is it's got a noise coming from the belts. All right, G Junior, start it up. Can you hear the noise? We have figured out it is definitely coming from the belt tensioner right there. It's definitely coming from the belt tensioner there, and you have to replace the whole tensioner. So the tools you're going to need a 12mm wrench, you're going to need an 8mm Allen headed socket, and I have like this 1/2-inch extension here to get down to it, and you're going to need a 17mm wrench. The 17mm wrench is going to be used on this piece right here to take the belt off. So we're going to draw a map on the belt, and then also to make this easier, I'm going to pull out this coolant reservoir tank. We're just going to go ahead and get this out of the way, and we'll just set it, thank you, out of the way, and that will give us the extra room. So there is a 12mm bolt right here that we have to take out, and in the center here there is a 8mm Allen headed bolt there. So let's get the belt off and we'll start getting these other bolts out. All right, well, I have taken and drawn my little map so I know which way the belt goes back on. So now I've got the 17 on that nut stud there, and you pull back on it. As you can see, the belt loosened up. So now you can get over here and you can pop the belt off. And then what I usually just do with the belt is I'll just take the belt and I will tuck it down here out of the way. No need to take it all the way off. Then we'll come down here on the bottom of the tensioner. It's a 12mm bolt. And start to wrench on this. I think I'm gonna have to get a shorter wrench, but I did break it free. Let me get a shorter wrench and get that bolt out. All right, I've grabbed my shorter wrench, and we'll come in here and we'll give that a couple turns. That seems loose enough. Now you get your hand down in here. Yeah, it's coming right out. Coming right out. All right, and there's the first bolt out. And now we need the 8mm Allen on the little extension to get into here. And I still can't rotate it by hand. It's not that loose yet. There it is. So I'll go ahead, and I have a thumb screw on this one. I can just reach back down in here and use the thumb screw to get that bolt out. This bolt's really long. All right, it's out now. Flip it up, get the socket off of there. And then we're gonna just drop this way. Get the tensioner up there. Get it around the hoses. The bolt fell out, it's okay. All right, and there's the tensioner. You're not going to be able to hear it, but yeah, it's got a real rough spot in it. All right, everybody, so then you're just gonna fish it back up in there and put the 2 bolts back in and put the belt back on, and that's gonna fix this one. Let me go ahead and get the new tensioner, which I haven't received yet, on. We'll start it up and we'll listen to it and see if the noise is gone. Okay, well, I was going to show you that this was the end video, but it's still making noise. So when you put your stethoscope on there to listen, it still sounds like it's coming from the tensioner, but this tensioner here is making no noise when you spin it freely. This one was making noise. So the only thing I can think of now is it's the water pump, but without any pressure on the water pump, it's not making any noise, but there is some deflection in the pulley, so we're going to go after the water pump now. So we pulled the tensioner back off, and now we're probably going to take this off, because the pulley does not come off the water pump. So we're going to take the alternator off so we can get this to come out. So we have a bunch of 10mm nuts, bolts here, here, and there's some through the pulleys that you have to fish through the pulley to get. So we're taking the water pump off now and see if we can figure out if it's the water pump. There's nothing else really that's making noise in this area except the water pump. When you loosen the belt up, the noise goes away. So, and then even the alternator doesn't make any noise, and the AC isn't making any noise. Got to be the water pump. Water pump's got a little play in it. We're going for that next. Okay, so I went ahead and took the alternator out, but there's a bolt here and a bolt here, and then the wire harness. So now that's out of my way. It gives me very good access to the water pump here. So now we've got a bunch of 10mm bolts. I keep saying nuts. Bolts here, here, here. You can see one of them there. There's another one. There's going to be one right here inside the pulley that you're going to have to get to. And then there's some more underneath. It's kind of hard to film this, but I'm going to go ahead and get this water pump out of here. All right, everybody, I don't remember where I left off, but I was taking the water pump out because it was just not the tensioner, it was the water pump. So on the water pump sits in there like this, and you can get to these 3 bolts really easy, but the other 3 bolts are behind the pulley. 1, 2, 3. What makes this job a lot easier to take it, put it back together, is if you have one of these gear wrenched sockets that has the magnet in it, so you can reach down in there to get these bolts started and in. And even spinning this thing over now, it still doesn't feel bad, but obviously with the belt pulling on it, there's a little bit of play this way, but with the belt pulling on it, this is obviously making the noise. But we went ahead and left the new tensioner in there too, because that bearing did not sound good either. So we got the new water pump installed and the new tensioner. If you have one of these that is making noise and you think it's the tensioner, you better warn the people that it might be the water pump also. So this one here, we're replacing the water pump and the tensioner to make the noise go away. So we're just letting it run. We filled it with coolant. We're letting it run now, waiting for the cooling fans to operate. So I think I'm going to leave this one at this. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. You can always do that in that corner. Please give me a thumbs up if you like my automotive videos.